Hi Flosstube, I'm back with a WIP parade. A couple of you encouraged me to put one up, and I'm filming this on New Year's Day because I couldn't bear to not be super precise and have a WIP parade, fresh slate, things I have not worked on yet this year. If I did it on the 5th and then if I compared to next year, I know it would bother me. So I plan to do another one of these next year. I plan to next year be able to show before and after pictures. That would be a lot of fun. I couldn't bring myself to do that this year because I don't have a WIP parade from last year. I have one from when I first started Flosstube, but again, I don't want to compare, I don't want a yearly video to have a year and a half's worth of progress. So there's not really going to be a before and after pictures, which I really like. So I'm sorry I can't do that for you. And then the other thing is these are just going to be my active WIPs, works in progress, if you did not know. So only stuff that I have touched this year. Maybe 2 or 3 videos ago, it's in the title, so if you want to look back, you will be able to find it. I did a WIP parade of barely started projects, and I was gonna add those in, but one, I didn't feel like digging all the way through everything to grab every possible WIP that I have to show you. I'm trying to just get a video out on New Year's Day rather than having it be absolutely perfect. So I haven't touched any of those projects since my barely started parade. So if you would like to see that, that barely started WIP parade would be a good supplement to this video. But if I work on them this year, then I will be able to compare them to 2022 by using that video. So I'm not too bothered about not including them. So yesterday at work, I had a little downtime. So I wrote down all the projects that just immediately came to mind, because I was like, okay, if I'm not as likely to work on the projects that aren't coming to mind while I'm sitting here without any projects. And I wrote some goals down for those. I don't have it in front of me. I'm just gonna kind of use this video to help me develop some goals too. But I have some things in mind. So I have this video. I have this video organized. Yeah, I'll just start talking. Thank you so much for joining me. I have a lovely cup of tea because my throat is a little sore, but I think it's just sore because my husband is sick, and it's just psychosomatic. I don't think I'm sick. I don't have a temperature. I feel literally fine. I'm just like, my throat feels the tiniest little tickle. I'll test myself for COVID later, but I'm not even sick. I feel like I've also classically conditioned myself, like Pavlov and his dogs, to feel sick when the weather changes. I tell myself because it's like the pressure changing, but when it drops 20 degrees or raises 20 degrees, I just immediately I'm like, oh, I'm sick. And I think my mom taught me to be like that, seriously, because I'm always like, oh, I'm just so sensitive to changes in weather either way. But I think I've just conditioned myself to be sick when that happens. So I think that's all that's going on. Anyway, I have a lovely cup of throat coat tea. It's the best. You should get it. I get it at any grocery store. It's just really good. I drink it even when my throat doesn't hurt, but it seemed appropriate today. Okay. Let's see. Drinking tea game, okay? Because I don't want you to get too messed up. Every time I say, oh, I should really get back to this, I really want to work on this, I want to prioritize this, something of that nature, you should probably take a sip of your tea or coffee or juice or whatever you're drinking, water, if you're a perfect human being. So my first 2 projects are things that I know I can get done this year. They're close enough, like, that I could have finished them this year, but I really am trying not to stress myself out about cross stitch. That's just ridiculous. First one is Starry Night. Once again, I must apologize. This is a Joy Sunday kit, so I can't recommend that you buy it because the pattern is horrible, and the company, even though this I think is public domain, this piece of artwork, because Van Gogh has been dead for quite some time, and this work was put out a really long time ago. Technically this one isn't so horrible. Marumi pointed out to me and made me feel better that this specific artwork isn't really stolen because we all have access to it, but like all their other kits are stolen artwork, so we don't really stand for that, you and me. So don't buy Joy Sunday. However, I'm almost done with this kit. I bought it when I did not know better. And I technically have two little baby small pages left. Like this and this. So my goal is to finish this. My goal is to finish it, I mean, relatively soon. Like, finishes feel good, I think. I don't really know what they feel like. I don't finish anything. I don't know that I'm gonna throw everything. Okay, next up is Dimensions Christmas Jar Ornaments. Oops, Starry Night is on 14 count white kit Ada. Christmas Jar Ornaments is on 14 count clear plastic canvas. Really cute. I have 3 of the 4 done. I showed these 2 last video and I haven't made any progress on either one, so these look the same. Super cute. Yeah, I think I only worked on this like 4 or 6 days so far, so I can get this done in just a few stitching days. And I'll throw that one too. Oh my god, I'm already gonna have so much to clean up. You know what, the needle minder flew off, excuse me. There happened to be something magnetic back there. Okay, next category is, let me just look through. Yeah, okay, it's stuff that it would be cool if I could finish it. These are like my stretch goals. I don't think there's any way I could finish all of them, but I think if I really put my heart and soul to it, I could finish maybe some of them. Maybe you can kind of let me know what you think I can finish. You know my stitching habits. I've been stitching kind of erratically or maybe sporadically lately, just kind of going for like, I mean, even like a week or 2 without stitching. When I used to stitch, I mean like 400 plus stitches per day, every day. This one I'm gonna have to put a picture preview. It's a digital, well, I guess everything I insert would be a digital picture, huh? But I just mean there's no paper pattern for this. It is Dark Queen of the Earth, Stitch Along by Autumn Lane Stitchery. Part 5 just came out today. It looks incredible. This is on 28 count nightshade linen. It is my first and only linen piece so far, but I love linen now, so it's not going to be the only one. I am close to being done with part 2. So, and part 5 just dropped today. So I think my goal will be to catch up by the next release, which will be February 1st. Maybe kind of prioritize this one. My big stretch goal is to stay caught up, well, get caught up, stay caught up, finish it this year. So that's kind of a 3-prong goal. Okay. It's nice to break goals up like that, because then I can cross more stuff off of my goals list. And even if I don't like finish it this year, like as it comes out, you know, if I catch up in February, there's a goal I can complete. If I stay caught up however many months, like that's great. Maybe I'll even make a goal like do part 6, do part 7, do part 8, so I can cross off a bunch of stuff. Like, I think I should count each part as a finish. Kind of like I'm starting to count page finishes. I mean, like, especially on full coverages as finishes, because, like, for example, like on Dimensions Gold full coverage, I mean, a page finish is over 10,000 stitches, so I think that should count as a finish, especially because I love full coverage, so I just don't see many finishes around these parts. Next up is my one and only Mirabilia so far. It's Stargazer. It's a little bit of a conversion. I fixed her hair just because it just is blended kind of, I'm sorry to say it, poorly, especially on the blue fabric that I converted it to. And then I made her skin like a little bit darker and warmer toned. So she looks more like me. So this one I started, a couple days after my birthday. Speaking of which, one of my New Year's resolutions is to turn 29. I'm trying to do some attainable goals this year, and I think I can do it. I think I can turn 29. I was like joking around. I was like, another New Year's resolution. I want my hair to grow about half an inch per month, which is what hair does anyway. Oh my goodness, this is hopelessly tangled. Ooh. Okay, get back in there, needle. Okay, this is looking really good. Yeah, there's more done than I thought. I got the top left page fully done, including beads. The top right page, I only have beads left to do. And then, I mean, the bottom two pages are much, much, much stitch heavier. And there are beads in her dress too, but it's a lot of stitching. Really beautiful. Oh yeah, I did her skin 1/1 as well. And then I put an extra bead on her finger because I am married and this is Stargazing Alley. And I just thought it would be fun. So yeah, it is fun. Accidental conversion. Two of the symbols were really similar, so I put a couple beads in her little bow in her hair. They're white. You can see them. But that's fine with me. I'm not gonna take those out. Get real. Yeah. Oh, and I messed up again. Like a couple more of these symbols. There are several symbols that are very similar in this pattern. It's like maddening. Like, why would she do that? There are so many symbols. Like, if Heaven and Earth Designs can come up with like 237 unique symbols, I think Mirabilia can come up with like 30 of them. So yes, I'm beefing with Mirabilia now. Oh gosh. Okay, so stretch goal, finish this. I'm saying it and I'm just like, ain't no way. Ain't no way. Okay. Okay, next up is one that I started in 2019. It is a Shannon Christine design. This Winter Queen. I started this because I saw Stitchin' Mommy stitching on it. This was one of the first ones I started. This might be, let's see, like, I think perhaps it's definitely third or fourth. I'm thinking fourth that I ever started. And I did 1/1 skin and beading. This is old enough that the blue water-soluble pen that I've used has started to get a little wonky, but I have faith that it will come out, excuse me, when I wash her. So yeah, I mean, her skin looks incredible, and I learned a lot doing that 1/1. Beading looks pretty good. And I just went to like Michael's or Joanne and bought whatever beads were in like the jewelry making that seemed small enough instead of being bougie and like buying Mill Hill. See, now, okay, so I have to do her dress and then a fair amount of beading. And then I did the like bottom, like snow on the ground background. But there's a big tree that comes up and around too, and that's all white stitching. A little difficult. But I'm really glad that I've got the beading. I mean, that's a lot of beading. I am just like, I'm having a hard time making myself finish her arm because that's 1/1. Oh my gosh. It looks incredible though. It looks incredible. And I know more now than I did when I did this before. So my goal for this year was to get her skin done, which I didn't quite do, but that's okay. I made great progress on her skin. And I got to the bottom of her dress. So this is 2/2, except for the skin is 1/1, 128 count, just like craft store, light blue even weave. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and put her back. This is the first one that's actually in an organizer, which is a folder. Works. Oh my goodness. Okay, I think I'm just gonna drop that down. Okay, next up is Quaker Pumpkins by Hello from Liz Matthews. This was a gift from my mom, I think 2 Christmases ago. All Hallows Eve, and my mom kitted it up for me. And okay, I'm not trying to place blame. She bought 1 skein of the like variegated black gray, which it needs at least 2. So I switched it out for this really pretty, very highly variegated DMC. And I really like it. It turned out super cute. So I'm almost done with the border. I think I wanted to finish the border and these and the words, which I did, and the chains here this year. But then I was waiting to see if I had enough black to do the chains in black, but I seriously doubt that I will. But I guess I only have this bird left. I don't know, we'll reevaluate, we'll see. I should probably just go ahead and do the chains in this variegated color, because it kind of goes, I don't know, this is kind of like another border, those chains down there. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and do that. I think I could finish this, again, because it's not full coverage. It is really big though. This is 2/1 on 18 count. What is opalescent? Oh my gosh, it's almost like even weave. I'm so sorry. I don't know. Oh, it's Zweigart. It's called like Star or something. Sorry. So it would be cool if I could finish that. I think that one is a realistic sort of finish. I think Snow Queen or Winter Queen, whatever her name is a realistic finish. I think doing Autumn Lane Stitchery, Stitch Along, I could do. Oh my gosh. Y'all, I can't do everything. Okay, this is another Autumn Lane Stitchery. This is the Collectors. My husband got this for me for my birthday, so I started it on my birthday, March 26th, 2022. Really, really pretty, really spooky. It's really cool that he picked this out for me, because I didn't ask for it, and he just surprised me with it, and he did a great job. He was so cute. He was like, if you don't like it, we'll go online and pick out another one. And I was like, are you kidding me? This is perfect. Look at the spooky greens. Sorry for touching my nose. There are 9 colors in this, so that's why I think it is kind of a realistic finish, because it's not as like fiddly as basically all my other projects. Yeah, that and Quaker Pumpkin are my lowest like different color counts. I mean, I have one Barely Start that is monochromatic black. Actually, no, there's 3 colors in that. Anyway, that's not an active WIP though. So this looks really good. It started out as 20 count, like off-white even weave, but I dyed it just with some RIT dye. I just scrunched it up and submerged it in the RIT dye and let it dry. So that being said, it's shrunk down to more like 30 count, and this is over 2. And the black, I mean, everybody says this, you know this by now. It looks better in person than it does on camera. You know, cameras are more precise than our human eyes, so you really you can't see the fabric through in real life. It looks really good. I'm loving doing all this spooky light green. That second green kind of outlining there, that might be my favorite. Well, it's one of my favorite colors, and it matches my mug. Oh, I guess the lighter green does. I love green. And I really like this spooky little skull that I got down to. Super cute. Super cute. Okay, that's it for my like stretch goals of like finishing this year. I don't know that I can commit to like when I'm gonna work on these. Like, it would be cool if I could work on my Stargazer on the 26th and the collectors on the 13th of each month. Like, maybe I'll loosely try to do that. I don't know. I can't promise too much. I cannot do it all, people. Get back in there. Get back in there. I'm sorry, if rustling bothers you, then I don't know how you get through any Flosstube. Okay, I'll just kind of do that. Okay, next category is a pile on the floor, and it's things that I would like to work on consistently, but I absolutely cannot finish this year. There is no way. But they're here because I think I could get at least like a page finish on each one. Are these all full coverage? Yes, of course they are. And all but one are Dimensions Gold, so that's why there's no way I can finish them. This is the one that is closest to a finish. This is Aurora Cabin. This is, I believe, my 3rd ever start. I started it maybe like June 2020. So this is the one that I am not sure if I started it or Winter Queen first. But my first ever project was that red peony that I showed in my first video. Second one was Starry Night. Third was probably Aurora Cabin, and then 4th was probably Winter Queen. So I would like to see good progress on this so that maybe I can finish it in 2024. I don't have the top 2 pages finished, but I also have a lot done like on the bottom. I guess not a lot. I mean, maybe I definitely can finish this top left page because it only, excuse me, goes down to like, yeah, it only goes down to here. So I'll make a goal to finish that page. I think I want to do goals. I think I want to set a goal for like what I'll get done on something before I move on. Like, I can keep working on it more if I feel like it, but I can move on after I finish whatever goal. So I'll finish that page. Maybe I'll try to, I don't know. And then I'll just try to work on this page. Yeah, I don't want to set these just wildly impossible goals. But, I mean, this sky is all half stitches, so, I mean, the top half will go much faster than the bottom. And when I started this, I started with the cabin right in the middle. Yeah, that's a really fun one. It's really pretty. Next one, here's the cover image or whatever, the original artwork, I guess. It is, Aurora is 2/1 full cross plus a bunch of other, like 3/1 half stitch, 6/1 half stitch on 16 count Dove Gray Ada, which is really more of a light blue. Next up is Contessa with Squid. Original artwork by Omar Ryan, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. I started this maybe January 2020 at the earliest. It might have been in the coming months. Yeah, that's the earliest I could have started it, because I got it Christmas of 2019, the first Christmas I was stitching. From my mom. She got me the kit from Heaven and Earth Designs, and she always wants me to work on this, of course. So I've experimented a lot with how I work on this. Like, I've got some parked threads. I tried doing diagonal pages, which obviously I did really well on. There are diagonal pages done. And then I wanted to work over here on this page because the next diagonal page this way is her face. Obviously I counted down to her face, and then I decided I could not trust my counting, so I really needed to get like pages done like top to bottom. And then I came over here because I felt like getting a lot of stitches done, and I said, okay, I can do that with these big patches of black. Once again, the coverage looks much better in person than it does on camera. I started this out 1/1 full cross. This is 25 count even weave Lugana, easy guide, whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean. And then I decided I really wanted to speed up my stitching, so I switched over to, yeah, maybe you can kind of see the difference there. I switched over around here to 2/1 half stitch, obviously still on 25 count, because I'm not unpicking all of that. It's a huge project. It's fine. The coverage is not that different. And I mean, anyway, I'll always remember how much I got a lot better at stitching during this. Like, I don't mind at all that you even can see some of the difference. Yeah, but this looks just really good. It's really detailed. All the colors of the rainbow in these tentacles. I can't wait to get to her face. I think that's gonna look really good. I can't wait to get to the little squid that she's holding. And I keep thinking about how I'm gonna like dread working on that dress, but by the time I get down there, the end will be nigh, the end will be in sight. So I think I'll be able to just like, come on, get her done. Gosh, it would be cool if I could get to 100,000 stitches on this. I don't know how far I am on this. I know I'm at least 15% done, and I believe that's over, I think it's over like 52,000 stitches. It's definitely over 50K. But I don't know precisely because I broke my phone and I had to re-input it into Pattern Keeper, and it, like, I'll just kind of fill in some of the rest of the like random ninja stitches that I've done as I get to them. I'm not gonna just waste my stitching time trying to like study my piece and hunt and pack and find the like random stitches that I've done away from everything else. That kind of just defeats the whole purpose of using Pattern Keeper, of being more efficient with your stitching. And when it's stitching time, I want to freaking stitch. I don't want to be marking off an enormous pattern that's like 54 pages long. No. That's the only pattern that I stitch in a hoop. Everything else is in hand, because that fabric is just like way too floppy and huge. And my stitches were, you may be familiar with this phenomenon, slipping behind the even weave. So No, it was way too frustrating. Like, that's frustrating enough to work on. I don't need more frustration. I'm trying not to slurp or like swallow and gulp too loudly. So next up are my 4 like for real focus pieces. Last year it was my goal to have them as focus pieces. This year it'll be my goal again to have them as focus pieces. I want to do at least a page's worth of stitches per season. These are my seasonal Dimensions Gold fairies. I didn't complete my goal on all but Woodland Enchantress, the first one, last year, but I'm just gonna keep on rolling with that goal. Like, I'm not gonna try to catch up and have 2 pages done on all of them. Like, that's way too much. But first up, this is the only thing I've worked on since my last video, and I only worked 2 days, so she's really not too different. But this is Woodland Enchantress, aka Woodland Enchantress. Yeah, she is in my winter slot, even though she is bringing spring. One of you, I'm sorry, I should have looked up your name so that I can say hi to you, but hi, thank you so much for validating me. Pointing out that it looks like she has poinsettias all over her dress, and that is a winter flower. And I mean, red and green is very like, Christmassy and wintry, so. And gold even is pretty like, Christmassy and wintry, so. And I mean, even if everything else pointed to spring, you know, these blue snowy areas are like predominant over this dried up, terrible version of spring. So just the fact that it's predominantly like winter looking, it's fine as my winter piece. And to me, it reads as winter. I mean, even her like little wreath on her head, that just is very wintry to me. I am justifying so hard when you are all like my #1 yes people who are just like, yeah, that's totally winter, like work on it in winter. Yeah, I'm enjoying this more than I did last year. Yeah, so I got to the top right corner and went down some and kind of color completing a little bit. I'm not jumping all over the page to do it. So kind of cross country, kind of like top down, but obviously not strict. Yeah, so I'll be getting to her pretty soon. I'll be getting to some different colors, so that'll be good. I did get this page finished in 2022. So I'll be moving down here. And I would like to get the back stitching done. So my goal, oh, did I say goals? I don't even, where am I? I guess my goal for, whatever, yeah, I've been saying goals, okay. My goal for this is another page finish so that I'll have the top half finished. And I'm doing really well with that goal. I can do it. I can do it. And I mean, for me, that'll count as a finish, because it'll be a page finish on a really complicated full coverage. I'm just gonna pretend like I'm throwing, drop it down. I already have enough to clean up, and I would like to do a New Year, New Start. So I need to kind of get this cleaned up and put away. I'm working this evening, so, but I was like, oh, you can save your New Year, New Start for, almost said New Year, New Start. New Year, New Start for another day, but that's not a New Year, New Start. Like, okay, I'll talk about it at the very end. Next up is Spring Fairy, which I'm like, Dimensions, if that last one was bringing spring and she is spring, why do you have Spring Fairy too? Like, and she's legit. She is literally named Spring Fairy. Oh yeah, all 4 of these that I've already shown the first 2, and I'll show them the next 2 next, are original artwork by Ruth Sanderson. These are also charted by Heaven and Earth Designs, and Dimensions just put out the Summer Fairy, the official one. I have some other rando in my Summer Fairy slot. I haven't looked in this in a while. I know I didn't get the page finish, but I have stitches on every single page now. So I don't know, it's probably close to the equivalent amount of stitches to, okay, and I'm just showing this completely upside down, to a page finish. And Joss Holm is really, really, really far on this. Joss Holm is one of my stitching besties. She has really similar taste to me. She really likes Dimensions projects, and she actually adopted one of my full coverage HAED projects. So I'm excited to see what she does this year. I was in the middle of watching her 2023 goals video, and I was like, oh, just do it, Allie. The people want to see it. So, and I would like to have it for my records. So here we are. Thanks, Joss, for giving me a little push. Love that hummingbird. That's kind of why I started on this page. But also, you voted for me to start on this page. The butterfly is butt ugly, as is this tree. But the ribbon and the hummingbird make up for it. Yeah. There's a lot of half stitches, pretty much like almost all, if not all, of the backgrounds in just about all Dimensions, like full coverage projects, are half stitches. So I mean, the background's gonna go really fast. Like, yeah, that's kind of another reason why like I can justify not getting this page done, is that it's all full like I don't think there are any half stitches down here. And then these two pages will go faster because they're predominantly half stitches. So, you know, I could catch up in the future and like realistically get this done maybe in like 2025. Oh my gosh. Okay. Gosh, I'm just like running out of room to throw stuff down even. Next up, I did the least amount of work on this one. Like, even though this was my friggin' unicorn, like I couldn't believe I got this off of eBay. This is super rare. And I got it at, I mean, it was still like marked up probably like about double like retail, but you can't get any of these like out of print Dimensions for retail unless you stumble upon somebody who does not know what they have, but you have to buy that immediately if you see it, because everybody else has their alerts set on eBay and they'll jump on it immediately. And that person might be me. Oh, what is in my hair? Okay. This is Fairytale. So I put her in the summer fairy slot, even though I didn't realize they just came out with summer fairy. But that's okay. She looks summery to me, summery enough, and she was my unicorn, so yeah. I actually can't wait to stitch on these little fairy people down here. And the horsey. And I think I'm gonna make the horse a unicorn with some like blending filament and like gold. That would be really pretty. Yeah, I barely worked on her. This way is up. This one is different. She's gonna be like a lot more to work on too, because she's on 18 count, but I believe she's actually, even so, a larger stitched area. So there might be like 12,000 stitches per page on her, which I'm like, oh, man, because then I can't go with my original dream of having one really nice frame and switching these out per season. But that's okay. That's okay. I mean, honestly, am I ever gonna finish these for real? Hard to say. Hard to say. Okay. This one, I actually don't think that I worked on at all this year, but she's an honorable mention and she belongs in this WIP parade because she is perhaps my favorite project. This is, okay, then she would be the 5th one I ever started. So I started her, I think, August 2019. This is Fall Fairy by Dimensions Gold Collection. Very beautiful. Very beautiful. Sometimes I call her Autumn Fairy because that is fancier and more regal. But I've got a lot of her done. She's the furthest along, so she belongs in the WIP parade, and I'm definitely working on her this coming year. Very beautiful. I can definitely finish this top right page, so maybe that'll be my goal. And then if I do bonus stitching, I do bonus stitching, that'd be great. I also need to go back. I really need to go back and like complete this back stitching. I have some, you can see. But the back stitching, if I don't like get it done now, see, and look how great that looks with the back stitching. You wouldn't even be able to like perceive that those were leaves without it. The back stitching obviously is going to tie it all together, but also I do not want to be caught up doing this at the end. So goal for the year, get the back stitching done, finish the second page, and get the back stitching done there. If I did touch this year, I think I might have touched it one day and put in very minimal back stitching. So I don't have to justify her being in the WIP parade, but she has earned her place, I think. Okay, and then last in this category is the Tree Skirt of Doom. I have this project also in common with Joss Holm. I don't know. I think she coined the nickname Tree Skirt of Doom just because it's so big. Sleigh Ride Tree Skirt. One very smart viewer suggested I cut the fabric in half because it's gonna be a tree skirt, and she suggested when I'm done, as if I'm gonna finish this, just stitch it back together with an easy little seam. I think that's a really good idea. I do not know if I can bring myself to cut it. I don't know, but you have seen me struggling and getting stressed out every time I show you this. But I'm just gonna be calm holding this up now. You saw in the last video, if you watched, how big the fabric is. Like, I don't need to shake it all out and get stressed out this time. It goes down a little further. It's all curled up because I stitch in hand. But yeah, I can definitely get a page finish on this. I think technically, just the way the pattern is, I think there's technically 8 pages on this. Depending on what you qualify as a page, I count the, like, I just do it by like quadrants normally. I don't know. I can't really explain it if you don't stitch on kits often. But the other dimensions projects, full coverage that I've shown, have all been 4 pages, and I think this one is technically 8. So I want to get a page finish on that. That I can do. Maybe I'll make a stretch goal to make a second page finish, because I think about, like, yeah, here down is a page finish, and as you can see, I just kind of have to come up around here. I can do that. I think I'll make my goal 2 page finishes, but maybe I'll still like categorize it as a stretch goal to get the second page finish. Yeah, because I mean, it's a lot of work. Did I really show you this? There you go. See, poinsettias are a winter flower. Winter fairy belongs in winter, or Woodland Enchantress. Okay. Final. Oh, got it. Final category is barely starts, which I said I wasn't going to include. But these 2 are different because I started them this year. I started them in January and February, maybe. Yeah, I did. When I was like, oh, I get to start every month. And then I decided that was just like a little excessive. Gosh, I didn't start anything after my 2 birthday starts. No, I mean, I am really good at not starting stuff. It's just that I started so much when I started stitching. You know, I just got really excited, and I didn't realize how long it was gonna take me to finish anything. I was like, oh, maybe like a couple weeks for like Fall Fairy. Like, please. So I started this January 2021. This is Dragonfly Pond. This one is also really rare, and that's why I started it, because it's just so different than the other Dimensions Gold collection. First of all, it's round. Second of all, the art style is just so different. The artist is Kim Kirky. I'm sorry, I'm not the best at pronunciations, but it's really different. Yeah, it's great. It looks like stained glass to me. So I definitely have over 1,000 stitches on this. This is just the kit Ada. I think it's 14 count. Yeah. And I think this is the top. But yeah, I started right in on that gold devil's fiber filament stuff. Yeah, I mean, for something I had to start, like, I should get a little further. It's interesting. I don't know if you noticed the white balance just like changed a lot. When I hold this up, like, this is truer colors. Like, hold on. Let's have it focus, and then that's more what I look like. So you see why I had to darken up her a little bit. Like, I'm still pretty fair, but I'm not friggin' Snow White, okay? And my skin is like a little warmer toned. I don't know. Okay, I'm just like showing you my skin way too much. Like, you can see me. You know what I look like. But I just wanted to prove that, you know, there is a reason why I'm darkening up the Stargazing Alley. I was thinking I would like to, I mean, obviously we don't have any of the skin out for Dark Queen of the Earth yet. I don't know if she's gonna be like mystical and like blue skin, like the Dark Queen of the Seas. I might like to stitch her with a darker skin tone, like I would like to make her brown. I think that would be really cool to have, just like, you know, more inclusive art in my home. That would be great. Speaking of changing skin tones, even if she is kind of a fantasy color, like if she's like red or something, I think I'll consider making her a darker actual human skin tone. That'd be cool. Okay, and then my last barely start, but still. Oh, here comes Rufus. Hi, Rufus. Here. Do not look at all my stuff on the floor. Hi, Rufus. Hi, Rufus. Wow, and there goes my husband too. Okay. This is Winter Retreat by Dimensions Gold. Let's see, does it say? Okay, yeah, this one is 18 count beige Ada, and it's really big too. It's 16 by 12 stitched area, full coverage. But again, like, all of this is half stitch. I got this on eBay. Somebody else had gridded it with regular embroidery floss, which would not have gone well, because unlike if you grid with like sulky sliver or whatever it's called, or fishing line, if you pierce, like, you will pierce regular floss and it will not turn out good. You will not be able to get the gridding out. So I just traced over it with my blue water-soluble pen. And there are actually 3 different colors in here, believe it or not. But I gotta trust the process, just like the girls on The Bachelor, and just keep going, because I mean, it feels like a waste that this is 3 different colors, because they all look exactly the same. But whatever, it's gonna turn out really pretty. So on both of those, I'm gonna set my goal pretty low. I'm gonna say I need to get at least 1,000 stitches on that. I think I'd like to just say, like, you have to do 1,000 stitches on everything you touch. And I think I'd like to set like goals of like something I'd like to get done before I move on. Again, I can keep moving on. I can keep working on it if I feel like it. But like, for example, the seasonal fairies, I want to get a page finish before I put it away. These, I'd like to get 1,000 stitches on those 2 barely starts this year. Hopefully more. But it's not realistic for me to say I'm going to get a page finish on those. I might, but I can't set my goal that high. I'd rather like go over my goals than just have no goals done like this year and like last year. Okay, finally I decided, I was like looking through everything and I was like, gosh, there's nothing that I feel like I need to start, just because I really do want to get progress on all of those. Like, I never finish anything. I'd like to set myself up for maybe finishing things in 2024 or 2025. But this is a non-full coverage. It is non-dimensions gold. It's regular dimensions. Would you expect anything less from me? A dimensions kit. This is Snow Bear's stocking. This is a stocking I want to make for my husband, Dan. And it's not full coverage. That blue is the Ada. It looks like it's 14 count Ada. It might be 16. No, it's 14. And pretty much all this snow, yeah, is half stitches. Even though it's white, whew, at least it won't be like changing colors so much. And I really like these cardinals. And it would just be nice to be able to put this up. And it's super cute. So I think I'd like to start this. Yeah. And I mean, I think I'll make my goal to finish it. Yeah, it's not full coverage. It's not very many colors at all. It's really not. Yeah, I'd like to have this up next Christmas. That's my goal. Thank you for watching. Love you. Talk to you soon. Bye.